Good. Hello, hello, and welcome to our second edition of What Do Black Men Really Think, the video hot seat. Today I have with me Ms. Daynell Wright. I really want to call her one of the founding members, not the founder of What Do Black Men Really Think, but one of the founding members of our group. And thanks to Daynell, and I know I've said this before, but I want to always give her props with this. Thanks to Daynell, she pretty much resurrected our little family here and took it off of life support, gave it a little mouth to mouth, a couple of chest compressions, and here we are 2.5 years later. Daynell, welcome.
Thank you.
And thank you for being here. Now, you know, you've been a part of the hot seat before. We did the actual version on the page. This is a little different. You ready?
I am.
This is the video version of it, so people get to hear you, see you. And you know, when you're on the hot seat, you have to answer whatever is asked of you. Don't be trying to look at my notes all early, but you have to answer whatever is bestowed upon you. Are you ready for that?
I am.
All right. So Daynell, let's get right into it. Tell the people a little bit about yourself who may not know you. As you know, we have an influx of new people. So kind of share with the people a little bit about Ms. Daynell Wright.
Well, I currently work in the social services field. I've been doing that since I got out of college many years ago. I have 2 children, and I also have another job. Well, I like to think of that as my career because eventually that's what I'm going to retire to. As a travel agent, and I enjoy travel, so a lot of my pictures you will see are of me and my kids on various vacations.
All right, that's what's up. What is your status right now? We single? We mingling? What are we doing right now?
Single and mingling.
Single and mingling. When's the last time you mingled?
I mingled last night.
All right. Was the mingle good?
Always.
You got yours?
Yes, sir.
All right. Nothing wrong with a little mingling and making it do what it do in the process. All right. So you've been in the group pretty much since the beginning. Why have you hung around this dysfunctional family for this longer time?
It is entertaining, and it helps my day go past on days when it's slow and I'm able to actually get on. Now I'm not able to get on as much, but and just to be able to get feedback from different people who don't necessarily know you, and kind of just be able to get that opinion of somebody who doesn't really know the whole situation, because sometimes I feel like when you ask people who are close to you their opinions, you kind of get more of their personal versus an unbiased opinion from someone who doesn't know you as well. So I like that unbiased opinion at times.
Do you think that happens sometimes in a group? Because we now have all hung out together. We most of us know each other somewhat. You know, we've been around each other. Do you think that line gets blurred sometimes because we are closer than a normal Facebook group?
I do, and I feel like sometimes I'm able to kind of put those opinions to the side, because not that I disvalue those opinions, but I think sometimes like people go on things that you've dealt with in the past, and they keep wanting to bring that into your current situation. So I feel like, you know, while I love everybody's opinions, you know, I've definitely learned what to take and what not to take, or, you know, what may work for me and what's not going to work for me, because obviously everybody doesn't know the whole story. And then there are people that I connect with outside of the group that I can get further feedback if needed.
Okay. Who in the group advice or, you know, feedback that you probably trust the most?
I talked to quite a few of the group members outside of the group.
One person in particular?
I talked to Free a lot.
Oh, Lord. Okay. You take advice from Free?
I talked to Free a lot. Ron, the International Man of Mystery, when he was available, I definitely talked to Ron, because Ron does have a good perspective on a lot of things. So just 2 off the top of my head that I can think of right now.
All right. I can only imagine this 2 very diverse opinions you're getting right there. Ron and Free. You're talking about opposite ends of the spectrum, but I digress. Love you, Free. All right. So again, like I said, you've been around for a long time, so you managed to connect. Is there anyone in the group that you want to listen to a goddamn thing they had to say if they was trying to give you some advice?
Yes, there is.
You care to share?
No, I do not.
Yo, you and Cara in these little shy ass hot seats. Y'all gonna stop it.
I mean, you don't really want me to.
Nah, we don't have to make it ugly.
Yeah,
that's cool.
There are some people who I just think that their perspective is a lot different from mine, so I wouldn't necessarily take their opinion.
But that's a part of the diversity that you say.
But it's I'm not like the super religious type, so a lot of times when I get hit with the extra religious, pray, leave it on God. Like, I need tangible answers sometimes to some of the stuff that I'm dealing with.
Right.
And so to me, a lot of times when I get those kinds of responses, and that's all I ever get from a person, it's kind of hard for me to relate to them. So I think that's definitely probably the members that I will listen to and be like, oh, okay, but I'm not necessarily going to incorporate that into my daily thoughts or daily processes.
All right. What about, now we had, one thing that Bojangle Cole Game and I try to do, whenever we add a female, we try to add a male. And he and I will actually look at the men and says, all right, you know, we never want to come off like we're hating and we only put like scrub-looking dudes in the group. And it's hard for me to be like, well, I don't know if they're like this guy. Is he handsome? Is he not? Because nobody's handsome to me. I might say, oh, he kind of smooth, but I ain't going to say he's handsome. But out of the new people we've added, is there anybody in the group that you like, he kind of fly?
No.
No? There's nobody? How about from the old crew? Who's easy on the eyes?
I don't know, because I don't really go through their pages a lot. But I
see their profile picture.
Yeah, I do. But some of them don't really have, like, you know, recent pictures or whatever. But I will say I really like Mark L.
Mark L.
Mark L in Canada.
Okay, Mark L in Canada.
Yes, we just went to Brazil. Yes.
Right. Do we know what the L... Mark, what the hell is your last name? Anybody know what the L stands for?
No.
Is it Mark Lover?
I know Mark is Haitian. I know he just went to Brazil. I know he lives in Canada.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get into a little game I like to call either or.
Okay.
So we're gonna hit you off with a couple of things right here, and you tell me what you think. Some of these are kind of funny. So 6-inch penis or 10-inch penis?
10-inch.
10-inch. All right. Now, heels or flats?
Flats.
Light skin or dark skin?
Damn. Oh.
One or the other. If you had to be stuck with one for the rest of your life,
Jesus.
Which one would it be?
Probably dark skin.
Dark skin. Why?
I mean, I like the gamut of men from white to whatever, but I don't know. Like something
This is
about
what do black. You didn't really think. We don't care about
that. Something about that dark skin laying against some crisp white sheets. Yes.
Hey, whatever you like. Foreskin or circumcised?
Prefer circumcised, but you know.
Thug or corporate?
Can I get a corporate stuff?
But if you had to choose.
Corporate.
Corporate, okay. This I'm trying to phrase this right. Formerly gay, but it's all the way into women now, or straight their whole life.
Straight their whole life.
So you were front on a guy who's changed his life. He's found God. Now he's
fuck men, so no.
But he didn't fuck the man. He hadn't fucked the man in 10 years.
I don't care. You've been in somebody's ass, or somebody's been in your ass. I'm cool.
So gay is gay.
Gay is gay.
So then would you?
You can't pray the gay away. You can't change.
You cannot pray the gay away. I feel you on that. So so if a man gets his salad tossed, is that gay to you?
That's gay. If a man gets his dick sucked by another man, that is gay.
That is gay. But what if a woman tosses a man salad?
She's a freak.
But he not gay then?
Some men are okay with that. I think it's weird. I don't think you should be doing anything near a man's ass, however. You know.
Right.
I think they might have gay tendencies, but they don't want to explore those with men, so they explore them with a woman.
Okay. What about any ever woman on woman action for you? Kiss?
Yes.
How far we went? Just kiss. We touched the breasts. We touched it for JJ.
I didn't touch her. She might have.
Touch yours?
Yeah.
Did that feel, was that weird, or was it just all the same?
It was the same. Tongue is a tongue.
So does that make you gay then?
Bi-curious, that day.
How come women, okay, ladies, why are y'all bi-curious, but men are just flat gay when they do something? I need somebody, fill me in on that. This is hilarious. I hear this, every woman says that, oh, well, bi-curious, but if a man does it, he's gay.
No, it wasn't like a thing that I've done a lot. It might have been like a 2-time in my life thing, but
okay.
it happened, and you experiment, you do different things.
Threesome?
Yes.
Okay. Threesome, you and another guy, or you and 2 guys, or you, a girl, and a guy? Both. Okay, which one you find to be more enjoyable?
They both have their different things about them. Like the idea of 2 men just like all focused on you is always good.
It's your selfish gene.
Yes, it is. I'm spoiled and I'm selfish, so
Okay.
it's okay. I admit it. But females. There's something about females. We're soft, we're attractive. So just having that there, and then he's there too.
What trait do you find attractive on a woman, and what trait do you find most attractive on a man?
I look at females' bodies a lot.
Okay. So butt, breast, or
I just like an overall nice build.
okay. What about men? What on a man that was like you're like damn, like that stands out for you?
I like men with like nice upper bodies. Like
Okay.
go to the gym, arms a little swole. Like when you have on like a medium t-shirt, and it's yeah, I like that look.
What if his teeth real yellow?
No. Well, you know what? Let me not discriminate because we can get that fixed. Some stuff is fixable and I can work around. We can fix you up, but
Right.
certain stuff I can't do anything.
Build a man, like
Hey.
build a bear. All right. What would you refuse to perform in a game of truth or dare if the dare was on you? What would you be like? Nope, I'm not doing that. What's off limits in a room with 5 people in a room? Truth or dare?
I'm kind of open to everything.
Okay. I once had to do the worm in a room full of guys and girls butt naked. I took the dare. Would you do something like that? Something
Yeah.
crazy like that? All right.
Especially if drinks are involved, everything happens.
All right. Wow. What's your ideal of foreplay?
The basics, kissing, touching, but it can start from like the text on your way there. Like I have some texts that I'll just like, we'll text back and forth all day, and by the time you get to the house, it's like, let's go.
Damn.
Like it's just go time. So like I think for me, it can start from there because I feel like if you stimulate the mind, the body will follow. So I kind of need somebody who can do both.
Right. So you don't just show up with your dick out.
I've had people do that.
But you prefer not. I mean, sometimes that's okay.
I mean, like if that's what I know what is, if that's what the plan is, then hey, come on, let's get it. Especially if we're on time constraint.
There you go. Sometimes you got to get in where you fit in. What's something you think people assume about you, but it's not true?
I think that I don't know what people think about me right now. Honestly, I don't know. I don't really care.
What about our group? What do you think? What do you think people's? Because most of us, some of us we don't hang out. We've never shared the same space and time. So in everybody's mind, based upon what they read your post, or everybody creates they create in their head what that person is like, or they create an opinion about that person based upon their post. So based upon your post, what do you think people will say about you?
Probably that I'm a bitch.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Probably that you're a bitch.
Yeah, because, and it's not even that's what the case is. It's just that I'm a very direct person, and if you ask a question, I'm going to answer it. It may not be the sweet and pretty answer that you want, but I'm going to give you what I, based on your situation that you're presenting to me without knowing, the whole story, I'm going to give you that answer. But I don't think we're coming to the group to get sugar-coated answers. I've gotten some answers sometimes and I get mad because I'm like, damn, like that's not what I wanted. But
right.
You know what, when you take a step back and think about what they're presenting to you, it's like, you know what, that's probably good advice. Some of it you take with a grain of salt, but at the same time I think we need to kind of leave our baby feelings at home sometimes in a group and just realize that type doesn't come across the same as a verbal conversation.
Right.
So you have to take that into consideration. But I do think sometimes I might have come across as either being like a bitch, or sometimes it used to be that I was overly sexual, but it is what it is.
No, Josh, you have that hands down, brother. Just for the record. So Dana, do you think, now you said because we can't see the tone and the feelings behind what we're typing, so would that make you even more mindful of what you're saying because you don't know how a person may receive it? Because we work with people all the time, so we know how, regardless of what their issue is, we still have to present that answer in a certain way, because everybody can handle direct. Everybody can handle in your face, you're dumb, you should know better. Even though you are dumb and you should know better, but everybody can't receive it when you say it that way.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do try. Like sometimes I will type a response to something and then I'll erase it because I'm like, nah, she's gonna think or he's gonna think. So I'll erase it. And like sometimes I do say something really crazy, not crazy, but sometimes some of the stuff I say is like really like, damn, I probably shouldn't have said that.
But oops, it's out there.
Yeah, and I apologize. And just letting you know right now on camera, I apologize. I know I said something real off to you one time, but I do apologize, brother.
Okay, that's what's up. Do you think that the group of women, the ones who participate consistently, do you think you ladies have a camaraderie? Do you think there's like unity amongst y'all for the most part?
I think we have a core group that we kind of stick together.
Okay.
We share similar ideas. Our thoughts on things are similar.
So does that in turn breed cliques within the group, for better or worse?
I don't consider it a clique. I just think that certain people you're going to be closer to, and I think the ones that I'm closer to are typically the ones that I've met and hung out with.
Right.
Although there are, those like Ladybug. I've never hung out with Ladybug, but me and Ladybug have a lot of similarities, and we talk, away from the group as well. So I think that it's just the natural progression of the group, and I think it just shows where the relationships form. So I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's just a natural process that happens.
I think that's very interesting because I think it's the complete opposite with the men. Like outside of the group, like I don't have Ron's number. I don't talk to Josh, and it's nothing against that, but I think it's just different with the men. Like I don't have Ron or Josh or Mark L or Andre Peppers or Andre. You know what I mean? Wilborn. I think it's just a female thing.
Yeah, and I don't have all these well, I have a few of their numbers, but like I don't have all their numbers. I don't call them all the time, but at the same time, I think things are just a little different with females, but that's what makes us different. So.
Yeah, true. Mars and Venus, that's what they say, right?
Exactly.
All right. So who do you look up to? Who is your role model? I know we did all the sex talk and stuff. Now I'm trying to circle back around. But who do you look up to? Who's your role model? And why?
I would say my mom and my grandma.
Mom and grandma. Okay.
Yes. And why? My grandma kind of keeps the family together. And she
matriarch.
Yes, and she helps me out a whole lot with my son. If my son's sick and he's in the hospital, I'll do the initial, check him in, get him straightened out, and then during the day when I have to go to work, she'll sit with him during the day until I get off, and then he goes to her house every other weekend. My mom, she just does everything for me. Like, if anybody doesn't know, I am a spoiled brat. Here to tell you, my mom holds me down like no other. Like, she's the best mom ever.
That's a blessing, because I'm sure there's not a lot of people in a group who can probably say that about their parents, or,
And a lot of stuff that she does, like a lot of times we'll hear from other people is, oh, she's so spoiled, you do so much stuff for you. But the stuff that my mom does for me is the stuff that I think white people do for their kids all the time. But for some reason, I think in the black community, they do stuff like help your child buy a house, or set your child up. Like when I needed a car, help me through that whole process. But she's taught me so much, and I think a lot of times it's sad that other people look at that as me being spoiled, when really that's what you're supposed to do as a parent, is to set your child up for success. You want your child to be better than you, obviously. So she's just done a lot. She's at her job, she's been there forever. She started out as a temp and worked her way up to now she's a supervisor, and she works with a predominantly male staff, and she
runs the show.
She runs the show. She's the boss, and it's just nice that now that I'm in management, I can kind of go to her for advice as to how to deal with having a staff and having a team, and I think that that's really important.
What's your mom's name?
Yvonne.
Shout out to Miss Yvonne. Good looking out. You mentioned 2 strong women in your life. What about your relationship with your dad?
My dad is deceased.
Okay, sorry.
Prior to him passing away, I hadn't seen him since I was about to graduate high school. I saw him at Bob Evans Restaurant in Bear.
Wow.
And I was at breakfast with my boyfriend, and I asked him to come to my graduation. And he was like, oh, I don't have a ride. So my boyfriend was like, I'll pick him up. No problem. And the day of my graduation, he never showed up. So I haven't seen him since that day. And the next time I was in his presence was at his funeral.
Really?
Yes.
Was he local the whole time?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Do you have any idea why he didn't want to step in and play his role as your dad?
When I was younger, he was as involved as he could be. Like, he was never really a parent. He was more like, Dad, I'm going on a field trip. I need some money. Or, Dad.
It's hot as hell in here.
It is. Dad, I want money for this, or Dad, I want money for that. He never really did any of the parenting. He tried like a couple times, but for somebody who's not around, you can't really be a parent if you're never really around. So
do you have other siblings on your dad's side or between your mom?
My dad has a lot of children. He was a Rolling Stone. So he does have other children, and I have a sister. We've connected a couple times. I haven't seen her since the funeral, and a brother that I saw at the funeral, and I have 2 other siblings. One I've never met actually on his side. And then my mom I have a brother with my mom's side.
Okay. What impact do you think that lack of relationship with your father has had as far as your relationship with men? You think that's played a role in?
Of course. When I was younger, I didn't realize how much of an impact it had. As I got older, I just, I always was the one that would seek out guys for attention or whatever. And then I read a book called Whatever Happened to Daddy's Little Girl, The Effects of Fatherlessness on Black Women. And it really I was crying reading the book because it was my story.
Wow.
Essentially. So it definitely played a role in how I've dealt with men, or when I was younger, I've gotten better with that. And, definitely I'm looking for something different for my daughter. And, I'm trying to stay in her ear more and just encourage her dad to be in her ear more, because I do think that's a very important relationship to have, because if your dad is the first male who shows you how you're supposed to be in relationships with men, if you don't have that, then it definitely has an impact. And you look at every male, not necessarily as a dad, but filling that void of that male love and affection. So, yeah, it definitely a role.
Wow. Okay. I agree with everything you said. I do really wish we would step up and just be a part of our daughters' lives. Especially the boys, too. Definitely the boys, but our girls, because I think we underestimate the impact. We always worry about we need to come here and be here for this boy, but it's equally important, I think, with the girls. That was very deep. Thank you for sharing that. Is there anything else you would like to add or say before I let you off the hot seat? I feel like I understand you, even though I've known you for like 15 years. I feel like I just got some stuff about you that I didn't know, and it makes me understand. I even understand why you post the way you post now, just based upon it. And hopefully everybody else will kind of pick that up too, and not use it against her, but use it to understand her. And I know you let that roll off your shoulders, but I don't. I take things personal for other people sometimes, and I think that's why we see posts disappear. Not recently. I've been just kind of sitting back, and I just give oh god. But I give a little just sigh. I'm not going to delete anything. But is there anything else you would like for people to know about Miss Daynell Wright before we get out of here?
No, I didn't. I'm an open book. Like, if you have questions for me, you can ask me. I'm actually approachable. I'm cool. And if we have a disagreement in a group, really, it's usually because there's a miscommunication. Because I think that's what it usually comes down to, is a miscommunication. You read it wrong,
right? Or
you're not taking it the way that the person who typed it meant it. So seriously, we just need to work on addressing those issues versus attacking each other, and stop feeling so sensitive all the time. It's really usually, it's not that.
Any message to the men in the group, those inboxers and those?
I don't have inboxers.
Really? Mm-hmm. Come on, you don't have to give us no name.
No, I don't. Probably because they're scared.
You think the way you come off on the page may scare some people away?
Yeah. My personality is a little strong.
So we got to all get together so they can learn, so they can be around you and see that you cool, you a laugher.
Yeah.
You like to cut up a little bit.
Yeah.
All right. So next function is going to be at Daynell's house. We'll give you the date and the time for that, so stay tuned.
BYOB, because I ain't supplying y'all liquor.
Oh, that'll work though. That'll work. Daynell, thank you very much for coming through. I know you got to run, and it's hot as the devil's asshole up in here. So we're gonna be out. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, I'm about to trim off. I turned it up a little bit. It must have kept going.
Jesus Lord.
Oh, we don't want that rain.